Good morning, grade 10, grade 8. How are you today? Today we will do some exercises regarding the reported speech question. As you saw from the last video, we talked about how do we report a question, and we said that we have two kinds of questions, WH question and yes or no question. We said that we use if or whether if the reported question is yes or no question, whereas if the reported question is WH question such as who, what, why, we don't use if, we rather put the WH question and the verb and then the pronoun or the subject of the sentence. For example, if you look at this example in your book, page 116, page 116, okay, exercise number 1. We have a question, and in this question we need to know if this sentence is reported question or direct question. Okay, number 1, he asked him what he was reading at that moment. As you can see, what is the structure? We should use this structure, asked or sometimes wanted to know. He wanted to know or he asked, and then the other person, and then what do you put? The WH, and then the subject, and then the verb, and then the verb. So he asked him what he was reading at that moment. And when you change the question, you have also to change the pronouns as well as the verbs. For example, if it's in simple present, we change it to simple past. If it's in past perfect, if it's in present perfect, we change it to past perfect. If it's in present continuous, we change it to past continuous. مثل ما بنعمل بالstatements بنعمل بالquestions. بس إذا كان عندي WH question, okay, I put it, and then after it I should have the subject and then the verb after we change it. Number 2, he wanted to know if he had seen the Lord of the Rings film. He wanted to know. هون استخدمنا structure تاني, مش he asked, استخدمنا he wanted to know. هلا بما انه this is yes or no question, we used if, okay. If he had seen the Lord of the Rings. So this is a reported question. Number 3, how often do you go to the cinema? Here it's a direct question. It's not a reported question. Why? Because we don't have the structure he asked or he wanted to know. And we have also a question mark, as you can see here. So this is a direct question. Okay. The rest of the sentences have the same style. You need to know if they are direct question or reported questions. Exercise 1B, here you need to know the rule of the reported question. Number 1, we change or we don't change tenses, pronouns, and words like this or here in the same way in reported statement. مثل ما قلنا reported statements or reported questions, we change the tenses, the pronouns, as well as the time expression. Number 2, we use ولا we don't use question mark in reported questions. طبعا مثل ما شفتوا هنا we don't use question mark. He wanted to know if he had seen the Lord of the Rings. ما في عنا question mark. Number 3, we use ولا we don't use the auxiliary verb do in reported questions. طبعا we don't use any auxiliary verbs. إيش هم auxiliary verbs? Do, did, and does. Directly we change do and does to verb to, okay, and we change did directly to had plus verb 3. Okay. Number 5, we use ولا we don't use if or whether in reported questions when there is no question word. هنا قصدهم لما يكون عندي yes or no question. طبعا لما يكون عندي yes or no question we use if. Okay, let's look at question number 2 here. complete the sentences with a question word or if, or whether in the following statements. Okay. Number 1. They asked the novelist who her favorite writer was. They asked the novelist. This is the structure of reported question. And then you should have the WH question, and then the subject, and then the verb. Number 2. Jill asked Jenny what she wanted to do. WH بعدين السبجect بعدين الverb. What she wanted to do. شايفين حولنا الverb ل verb to in the past. Paul wanted to know if I had come by bus or by car. This is a yes or no question, and that's why we used if. باليس or no question بدي أحط if بعدين السبجect بعدين الverb، ودايركتلي حولناها لهاد زائد verb 3 لأنه أصل الكويستشن هنا simple past. Number 4. Hannah asked me if I wanted a coffee and I said yes. So here the question is also yes or no question because I answered with yes, and that's why we put if and then the subject and then verb to. طبعا هنا شو بده يكون الكويستشن؟ Do you want coffee؟ لما عملتها reported question صارت Hannah asked me if. هلا الدو بشطبها ما بصير يكون عندي auxiliary verb، وبحول ال want ل wanted لverb to لأنها already simple present فبحولها ل simple past. Number 5. They asked me if I had brothers or sisters and I said no. I said no. This is also a yes no question, and that's why we used if. Number 6. My teacher asked me if I hadn't been at school the day before. If I hadn't been at school the day before, this is also yes no question. Number 7. Karin's mom asked her if she had had a good time. If she had had a good time.